So hello everybody. In this video I want to talk about what are the benefits of, or actually how can you use a server that has, or a system that has 32, 22, 24, or even since maybe even 64, 62 cores. Now this is a really good subject. Why do you want to need this, and why do you want to have this? And before we start doing this video, I would kindly ask you, please subscribe and like this video, because I will be posting more videos also in the terms of programming itself and all those things around server computing, so you can study and learn from them, from my own personal experience. So, and in the beginning I have opened my server SSH terminal, which basically shows the ongoing processes, although most of these processes are MySQL server processes. And you can see what's going on in this machine, and we have 78 gigabytes of RAM, which is, I would call it, nearly the minimum for in this scenario, and we have 24 cores. As you can see, mostly they are going on a maximum of 17 load average. Now, in terms of how you determine the server load, it's not by looking at the percentage of each core and then summarizing the how you call it, the average, but it's looking at the load average. And as you can see right here, we have a little bit of issue that at one moment all of those even red charts appear. In one moment you can see everything goes maxed out, and then in another moment everything is quiet. Now this is due to script optimization. You need to equalize all those scripts that are running on the server, but I'm working on it now. But the load average, what it means that it depends. This was I think it was 15 minutes, this was 30 minutes, this was 1 hour or so. It's an average of one period of each of the time periods. And what it means that by average 17 cores are used in the maximum, and on a larger time frame 18 cores, and a more larger time frame 19 cores are used in the maximum. So what it means if we have 24 cores, we have a load average of 16. It means that we have approximately 60% of overall usage to that system. You just divide 16, or in this case 17, by 24, and you will get like a 0 something, and times 100 you will get how much percent is loaded on average. But these red charts right here on this htop function, the function is called htop, signifies whether this core is using several instances in per core. So what it means is, if a script is run on the same core, or it uses the maximum of it can from the gigahertz that core has. For example, I'm using a system of 1.9 gigahertz and 24 cores. So if the load average would be like 48, which is times 2 the maximum cores, it will still run normally, everything will run fine, only the load average would be 48 in this case, and all cores will be maxed out, all cores will be green and red in the middle. It means that one core is using 2 processes or scripts in a time, meaning that each and singular script would load twice as slow. So in overall, the benefit of having multiple cores is the benefit of task splitting, and for server environments it's the benefit of using the maximum what you can on a single core, meaning the script to run as fast as it can. So another thing which you keep in mind is 2.6 cores, 2.6 gigahertz, 3.8 gigahertz cores, and so on. It can do the same task twice as fast. But if you have like load average of 48, which will be like in this case 2 tasks per core, then it will still work as a 1.9 gigahertz system. Now, but there is never the situation where actually it's a benefit of having multiple cores. You can do multiple taskings. But if you do multiple taskings, the system will run down on the weakest point that you have. That could be lack of RAM, and that could be a really slow HDD drive. So in overall, you have to know and you have to use the benefits of multi-cores. And you have to know the weakest spot on your system, and you have to know for what usages you will be using your system. For example, heavy-duty calculation or heavy-duty saving, calculating and saving. So if it regards to multiple saving instances, like 24 saving scripts that all do saving instances, you definitely need a huge huge and fast RAM, and sorry, not RAM, HDD drive, a fast HDD drive. You need like a storage device like SSD or HDD or SAS server these disks. So what it means, if the system cannot save those files which you want to save, or those changes you want to save to the hard drive that fast, the core will be maxed out and waiting until the HDD drive finishes that saving process. So there's also all those cores will be maxed out until the saving process is done. So it's basically also a complicated thing. It's not that easy actually. To only depend, the more cores you have, the faster the system is. It's more about balancing the system, it's more about using the system. But the strongest point what can definitely increase your system speed is the gigahertz you have, is the RAM you have. Because the more RAM you have, the less HDD drive the system will use. And there are benefits of multiple core systems. Definitely the benefits are high RAM and high cores would be really nice system for a web server where users just watch images, users just browse the website, browse text, and don't do any heavy-duty mail sending, commenting, and so on. It could be really useful for having a multi-core and a high RAM server. It could easily serve all those peoples. But for MySQL server, it's definitely to have lots of CPUs, depending on the environment you are having. High RAM, just to store most of your tables in the RAM, and definitely a really heavy load HDD drives that save those changes and can save them quick enough. So in overall, to have the most effect of your multi-core or 24-core 64 system, it can run great on certain tasks, but it's really about the weakest point that you have. That could be HDD drive, or lack of RAM, or inappropriate task managing, like I have here, like at one point everything goes full. But the benefits of it is multitasking, that you can split your scripts that take long time to proceed, or you can use multiple tasks and they will still have the same speed because a single core will be processing that task. So basically using a heavy load servers like 24 cores and such mainly is used by people use, or companies use, to rent out private virtual servers. They use these VMware softwares. They install Windows Server or whatever on the main machine. They have like 64 cores, they rent out like 100 cores, and they rent out most of the RAM, like rent out most of the RAM, because nobody will use 100% all their CPUs at the same moment. And they rent it out to users, and a single machine with 24 core is rented out for virtual private servers, like one has one core, maybe someone will want to rent 4 cores, and they just rented out these multiple server systems. So this is actually the really benefit systems of multi-server systems. For gaming and for stuff like this, it's a completely different topic. But this is the main benefits of having the multiple core systems for large hosting companies, for large website developers, and for large websites themselves. But it's not about one server uses all that website, it's about also server splitting. So I hope this video helped you, and I hope this video gave you some answers, and thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe for more uploads and for more interesting topics. So bye bye for now.